Okay, so everyone is muted. So everything that you have or want to ask, you can do it in the chat. I'm going to read the messages. I'm going to read to the guys that are going to do the talking. So basically, it's me, Luke, Nicola, Edin, and Borna. We are going to talk about everything, literally whatever you want us to talk. We are going to talk about it. So it's mostly psychology that people ask, but let's see. At the end of the meeting, as Nicola said, Luke is going to present his journal that he made in Notion, Note, whatever it's called. I'm actually really excited to see it because I never had a journal, so it's kind of new for me. Okay, so let's start.
So
Before,
maybe you can start reading the questions, and then from there we can just start punching those questions.
sure. So, Edin, can you talk?
I think you can hear me.
Yeah. Borna, Borna. So, second. Right now.
Now I can.
Okay. You left and then you came back. Okay. So, anyone has any questions? So we can start. People are asking who is Edin?
Who is Edin?
Who is Edin? So introduce yourself.
So for everyone who doesn't know me, I'm Edin. I come from Bosnia. For the past 5 years, I'm the biggest TikTok influencer in the Bosnia, and for the last 6 years, almost, I've been in trading. Last 4 years, thanks to God, I've been profitable trader. I started with crypto trading, only crypto. Then I transferred to trading only indexes. Now thank you, Z. Now I transferred. Most of my trades are only on two pairs, US 100 and US 30, so Nasdaq and Dow Jones. But also I do forex trades and only BTC trades when it comes to crypto. I stopped trading and the meme coins and every altcoin. I do spot trading also, but that's just for a long-term run. I invest in Ethereum for the past 3 years. I only do dollar cost average with Ethereum, and I plan to take partials of my profits of Ethereum in about 5 years. I will start then. Until then, I'm just adding my portfolio. And yeah, if you have any other questions specific about me or my trading, you are free to ask.
Okay, so Mikhail is asking you how did you get a futures prop?
It's asking me.
Yeah, because you're the only one that is from Balkans and trading futures. And we can actually do a prop firm. So
Yeah, well, I'm doing right now migration to futures firm. I started like a month ago. I bought an Apex funding. I didn't have any problems because I don't have only Bosnian passport and Bosnian papers. So I think that is the main problem with region or the Balkans, because I don't know if it's allowed or not because I didn't even try it. I think Apex is allowed in Montenegro because I have a friend from Montenegro who is trading on Apex. But I heard also that Top Step is allowing also Croatia and Montenegro. I'm not still sure. I still have my accounts on prop firms, not futures, because I still didn't get a payout because I don't want to do full migration until I do the payout. Then, when I witness that the firm is actually good, then I will do the full migration. And yeah, Apex is available in Croatia. I'm really not sure in which country it is and which country it isn't, but I think you can check on their website. If there isn't, probably it isn't available for Bosnia and Serbia, but Croatia, I think it is.
yeah, for Serbia, we cannot do the futures prop firm, which is really bad. I really wanted to have a futures prop firm account. I'm really sick of spreads, but what to do?
Yeah, the spreads are only only thing that trigger me to transfer because my trades are scalping trades, and I really do have short trades, and my movements that I'm catching are really low, and there was plenty of situation, especially with this new price action, which I actually got my take profit on TradingView, but on my prop firm it didn't catch because of the slippage and spread. So yeah, I just got triggered and I wanted to change that.
Yeah, the slippage and spreads are insane, and I really hate that. But
But let's say you're trading. I mean, I understand switching to futures, and it's really trendy now that everybody jumping to futures. But there's a few things that people need to understand. First of all, let's say you're trading gold and Euro USD, GBP USD. Spread is minimal. Like if the price comes to those level, 99% it will take you out. So worrying about spread at those price levels of I don't think it's relevant because the biggest drawdown when it comes to futures trading, especially prop firms futures, there's a trailing drawdown. Let's say you're in a position, and so the price is going your way. So let's say the price retraces. When the price retraces, what they do, they actually count that as the loss, even if it's not. So you need to be really aggressive profit taking in order to stay in the game when it comes to future trading. So let's say you're trading gold. So today there was a big retracement. So you went 4% up, and then price retraced, and then you went 4% down. So you need one more percent down, and then you lost your account completely. So that's something that people should pay attention to. Probably there are firms that don't have trailing drawdown, but worrying about the spread when the price reaches your 99% of drawdown, you're probably going to lose that trade anyway. I mean, that's my perspective, but I don't know how big are your stop losses. So whoever is trading scalping, but let's say you have 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 pip stop loss. I don't think you should worry about the spread. That's my perspective.
I really agree with Nicola. You have to check your trades. What I did, I checked all of my stop losses and break-even trades in the past 3 months, and I checked them on TradingView, and 50% of those stop losses wouldn't be even hit. Or what I counted also trades that almost hit my take profit in the firm, and in TradingView it did, and almost 50% of trades that I lost would be actually winning trades or break-even trades if I traded on futures. So that's my reason. Not I don't recommend everyone doing it. You have to check. You have to check your analytics, and if as Nicola said, trailing drawdown is threshold is really it's really shitty thing, to be honest. It's also for me it was quite new because I never had any experience with futures firms, and when I started trading on futures, I had to actually also change my little rhythm of trading because there's also a consistency rule on Apex. I'm not sure does Top Step have it, but on Apex I have 30%. So in the trades where actually I have 1 to 2 RR and I risk 1%, I can't risk 1% because it would go over my consistency rule. So then I have to lower my risk to 0.7 or 0.8.
I'm
I
staying
have a
with.
question for you, Edit. So let's say you're trading, you said you're trading Nasdaq and US 30, correct me if I'm wrong. So let's say your stop loss, I never traded those pairs, but let's say you transfer the stop losses relative to forex pairs. How much would that in pips? Let's say your average stop loss, how much would that be in pips in forex?
It would be really low. I'm not sure exactly because, to be honest, I don't even look how much my pips are at to take profit or stop loss. I never looked at it, but it would be really low because, for example, I trade on 1 minute, and I'm not sure. To be honest, I can't tell you.
Okay, we have a question. What was the most difficult thing at the beginning? Who wants to take it? Look.
Look, you can say it.
Let's see.
Yeah, man. So I know for me, for sure, it was for years and years, it was genuinely not being able to take the loss. And it was basically the conviction that I had was trying to make money at the same time of trying to avoid losing money. And those two can't coexist. If we want to make money, we have to accept the fact that there is going to be losers. And if we try and avoid those losers, which yesterday was a perfect example of that, it's only going to result in pure pain, because yet those are two things that cannot coexist: making money and trying not to lose. And for me, accepting the losses was the most difficult thing. And it's crazy that we can be doing something and regard ourselves as somewhat intelligent, but be making such a fundamental mistake. Like if we're not actually holding our trades and allowing them to hit our stop loss, one, we're never gathering any useful data points. So the trade that we lose, we think that we're helping ourselves because, okay, I lost 0.5% instead of 1%. But we then don't register that as a full loss. So then we don't actually learn from that, and we don't get the data points. So yeah, for me, that was the biggest thing. And it was such a hard pill to swallow. I think trading, it's so much involved with the ego, and we associate whether we win with whether we perform well, and if we lose, we didn't perform well. And it was separating that. And that's crucial, because it's not if the P&L is up, we did good today. It's if we followed our plan. And that's a very easy concept to grasp, but very difficult in practice, or at least it was for me. It took me a long time to be able to actually feel good about taking a loss as long as I followed my plan, or more so, put following my plan above making money. I think that's the core element to that.
Yeah, so basically, the moment you start not caring if you're having TP or loss is the moment you're going to win, for sure. As long as you stick to your plan. Not every trade is going to pass, and that's fine. But not sticking to the plan, that stings a lot. I think Borna talked
I have
about couple of times actually.
Yes, because trading is not about the money. You must learn the skill and follow the rules to make it.
Yeah, I have a brilliant analogy that really helps me frame this. It's like what we just mentioned there, that we can't have trying not to lose money and winning money. It's like a rock, paper, scissors. You put those two together, and trying to make money beats trying not to lose money. So therefore, we can't try not to lose money. So then if we're trying to make money and we're trying to follow our plan, all of our trading mistakes, FOMOing, entering early, entering late, they all come from trying to make money. So then we know that we can't try not to lose money, and then we know that we can't try and make money. So all that's left is to follow the process.
Yeah, when you
And
take
it's
money
if
out of the
we
equation.
can shorten the gap to getting to that, yeah, it will just shorten everything for us.
The day I stopped caring about money in trading is the day that I started making it actually.
Same for me.
Yeah, so literally just take the money out of the equation and focus on your plan, and money is gonna come. Everything that
I think one big thing for trading is uncertainty of outcome. It's a natural thing in the markets. Okay, when you're starting a business, it can be those uncertainties can be exciting. Unknown uncertainties can be exciting. But let's say you're going from day to day for a few years or months trading, and you have a loss. Suddenly, that loss, that uncertainty becomes familiar, and you connect your emotion to that uncertainty. And so, after some time, you become so attached of not liking those uncertainties that makes you avoid stop losses. And so, one big thing that people need to think about, let's say in trading, you have stop loss, you have take profit, you have break even. But how can you minimize anxiety and fear of uncertainty when it comes to trading? I know Luke is big on that. I think Nicola as well. If you delete one constant from that equation, break even, you have so much less anxiety. For me, I thought that break-even protocol is something I should cherish and keep it. But after some time, I realized that break-even, I lost so much money because of it. Especially on certain pairs like gold. Gold on gold pair, price likes to retrace your entry, hit you a few times, and then go to your take profit. So pairs like gold, you should completely if you're not scalping, I would say don't put your break even, don't have a break even protocol. But if you're trading like, let's say on forex pairs or gold, like it's a little bit bigger stop loss, don't put your break even. That way there's less uncertainty, you have less anxiety, and you don't need to think, oh, should I put my break even here, and then you need to go back to your chart and overthink, and that creates even more uncertainty and more fear uncertainty. So yeah.
I would like to add on what Nicola and Luke said about the money thing. For everyone who's just starting or is in this game for some time, we all start because of money. Even us and all of you here in the call. But the money really is not the end goal. When you fall in love with the process, when you fall in love with uh, looking at charts, doing your setup, doing good, then the money will just stick when you go through the process. The money has to be the last goal and the last thing you think about. What you need to think about and what you need to love is when your setup goes, the money will come. We still do this so we can get rewarded, but it's not the only goal. The only goal is to discipline yourself so when you have some plan, you will stick to it. And that reflects not only just on trading, but just on whole life, because we learn some skill in trading that only 1% of people can do. And then when you are in the 1% of the whole world, it will reflect on every single thing and every single decision you make in your life. And it will make your life really, really, really a lot happier.
Okay. Regarding the break-even, I have only one thing to add. When you have no problem of losses, you're going to lose the break-evens, because break-evens are just psychological things that protect you not to lose money. And when you look it on the longer distance, literally, the more break-evens you hit, the more money you lose. It's easier to lose 2-3% on the stop losses than to lose like 5 or 6% on the take profits that you're not going to have if you have break-even trade like 50% of the times. So don't attach to the money. Leave it. Just leave it. If you lose, you lose. If you stick to the plan, it's going to come eventually. Okay? Okay.
That's a good point.
Is there a minimum amount of the profit we should have to order start trading when we are using a real account? No. When you have your personal account, you can make whatever you want. The sky is the limit. Literally, you can make 1%, you can make 101%, whatever makes you happy. You have no goal, you have no drawdown, you have nothing. Literally, if you make 1%, you're happy. If you lose 1%, you're happy. If you lose 50%, you're still in the game. Okay? The only thing that is same with real and simulated funded accounts is that you have to stick to your rules. Not the firm rules, but your rules, which you should do when you're doing either funded or personal account. Cool? Anyone has something to add?
I think she meant here. Okay, who's first?
No, you say.
So I think she was thinking about maybe risk reward here. What's the minimum profit we should have in order? Maybe I think it seems like she meant in the beginning of the question risk reward. I think 1 to 2 is a minimum of minimums. Uh, but yeah, if it's risk reward, then 1 to 2, I would say.
If it's risk to reward, whatever makes you money. It doesn't matter. 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, whatever makes you money, it's fine.
It's
Yeah,
individual.
well, yeah, just chiming in on that. If risk reward was the topic in discussion, when I got consistent, it was literally just hitting one-to-ones and just getting some wins on the board, just making sure that I was able to actually hold my trades to fruition. Because prior to that, I was just like a crackhead who couldn't let a trade play out, whether it was to my stop loss or to my take profit. So I ended up just taking a break, just letting all my emotions settle, just kind of forgetting about the markets, and then coming back and saying, okay, can I predict at least which the next expansion is going to be? And then just having my entry using super basic trading. Like I'm talking like support resistance, hourly 4-hour closures, like super basic, very simple rules, and then just putting a huge stop loss so that it was basically either I was right and I would just hit a 1-to-1, not worried about the risk reward, or price would have just so much room to float around. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that initially getting some wins on the board can be all you need to actually just change those internal beliefs that we have that we're not able to actually make money, that we're not able to actually withdraw. Because it's very easy for someone to say, okay, yeah, just feel abundant, don't care about the money, etc. You can make money, but it's much easier to do it in practice. It's much easier to feel abundant when we have money coming towards us. It's much easier to feel like a profitable trader if we are actually withdrawing money from the market, even if it's a couple of £100. Just doing that on a regular basis, after the third or fourth time, you're like, oh my God, I'm actually making real money off of this. Then I work to actually then start optimizing and improving my risk to reward. But yeah, for the first few months, it was literally just being content with 1 to 3% per month. Very low risk to reward, but just nailing the risk, just nailing the trade and just following the process. So yeah, I wouldn't be worried about risk reward in the beginning. I would just be worried about, do you have a profitable win rate after that, and then focus on optimizing afterwards.
Edin is doing 1-to-ones and he is making money. So literally risk to reward is important, but not as important. Just the plan. Only the plan is important. If 1-to-1 makes you money, just stick to it. If 1-to-5 makes you money, just stick to it. It doesn't matter. Everything that you need to do is just follow your plan. Over and over, every day. Same thing, same thing. 1-to-1, 1-to-2. That's it. Okay. How did you learn to trust your system even during your losing streaks?
Well, I can answer this because sorry, Luke, do you want?
No, shoot, bro.
Because this week for me now is in minus. I am in minus 1%. And I think every single one of us has go through this. For me, what helped the most is when I was making my strategy, when I was upgrading my strategy, and even now I love to backtest. I love to put music and I love to backtest my system. I love to journal some things, some patterns that I see. And the only thing that helped me when I'm in losing streak is when you look at your system at a long run. So if your day is unprofitable, you see that you finish your weeks in plus. So you will cover that minus. If you see that you're covering your weeks minuses in next week pluses, so that's good. You will finish the month in plus. But if you're closing your month on a minus, then I think that you should change some things within your system, because if your month is closing in minus, I think there's some things that you need to upgrade or change your strategy. But if your weeks or days are ending in minuses, I think that's no problem, because you have to look at the bigger picture. You need to close your months at profit so you can actually get the payout and live from that money.
Once you get the money starting pouring in, you're going to trust it. Doesn't matter. You can have a negative month, you can have a negative week.
That is also, yeah.
On the longer road, if you make money, you make money. So
I thought that question was when you're making your system. So there's no actually prior payouts. But yeah, I agree with Nicola totally.
well, how to put it during the
Yeah.
losing streaks. So basically, I don't even know how to answer that question. If you don't have money pouring in and you're just on a losing streak, your mind is going to play games with you for sure.
Yeah.
You just need to control it. You just need to control it. If you know that you have a thing that is going to work on the longer road, you just need to control yourself.
Yeah, I think that this whole topic can just be reduced down to the math. Like, do you have the data that is telling you the answer? Because the emotions from each day to day will come and go, will feel like everything's fucked and this is just horrible. Then all we have to do is look, do we have a data set that tells us the answer? If we have that, just on those days, just look at that and then just know this is one of those data points that's in the negative. This is one of those weeks that's in the negative. But I know over the stretch of, because so many people here have probably read Trading in the Zone, and Mark Douglas just talks about thinking in probabilities. And I read it multiple times over the years, and I never actually, like, in the moment, I felt like I was learning so much. And I would go back and do the exact same mistakes over and over again. And it was because he said think in probabilities, but I didn't actually know what were my numbers, what are my probabilities. I just thought, okay, I have to think in probabilities over 20 trades, etc. But I didn't believe that because I didn't actually have the official accurate figures. And that was my fault because I wasn't gathering my data correctly. So I didn't actually know over 20 trades, am I actually profitable? Because I was interfering so much. There was a lot of subjectivity to my trading. So I think if you want to trust the system, first of all, you can make it as mechanical as possible. So removing subjectivity, and then just gather accurate data. And then it's just a yes or no question. Does my system work? Yes or no? And it's very easy to trust numbers from my logical brain anyway. When I can look at data and see it, to me, that just quietens my mind completely.
Interesting, yeah. It's true, actually. If you actually have a data, if you have numbers that are showing you that you're going to make money on the longer, that's basically everything that you need to do. And that you need to
black
have.
and white.
Okay, how important is writing the trading journal? Question for me. I never wrote a single page of a journal. Never, nothing. But journal, I think it's just a name for finding your mistakes. So literally, if you have a trade that hit your stop, if you didn't follow your plan, that's a different thing. If you follow your plan and you had a mistake, for me, I just remembered it. I never wrote anything. I just remember what was the mistake. I corrected it the next time, and that's it. If I see the pattern that I'm doing it again and again, then I go back to my trading plan and I rewrite it. So basically, journal is important, but how are you going to do it? That's relevant. I never wrote anything on a piece of paper, on a Word document, on the Excel spreadsheet, nothing. Not a single trade, not a single mistake, nothing. But I remembered my mistakes and I just corrected it as I go.
I just want to point out that if anyone has any specific question for me to write it, because I will need to go in about 10 minutes because I have to go get my brother from hospital. He has epilepsy and he had attack prior to call. So I just want to point that out. I'm not going to be here for whole call. And yeah, so sorry for that. But
if there is any question for Eddie, just
yeah, just write it. But
and
thank you.
we are going to do a live trading session, by the way. We talked about it, so it's not the last you're going to see of him.
Yeah. I forgot about that. You can't get rid of me.
Okay, so until somebody writes, let's go. Came here after.
Well, I have to add something to your trading journal question.
Okay.
I think okay, let's take a pool of 1,000 people not journaling trades. So 1,000 people not journaling trades. And so on the other side, there are 1,000 people that are journaling trades. So here, because people are not journaling trades, let's say about 950 people are not profitable. They're failing. But then on the other side, you have 1,000 people that are journaling every trade every day. But let's say 850 people here are not profitable. So it's all about probabilities. So where do I have higher probability to be profitable? I'm not saying it's not impossible, but I would rather go do the things that will increase my probability of profitability or even break even, rather than trying to do certain methods that, let's say, I didn't mention this point. You have 950 people that are not profitable, but they never made a video. They're not profitable. But then you have 850 people that are not profitable, but also never made a video. They're not profitable. So it all comes at the end of the day to probability, doing the things that you will get you to the certain outcomes or goals.
And I think even just taking that one step further, there's so much muddiness with the word journal. Like when I hear journal, I don't know if someone means, is that recording data? Is that writing your thoughts and emotions? It kind of all gets grouped into one. And I think after hearing both of what you said, that you don't like the whole reason for the journal. And when I say journal here, I'm talking about like writing your emotions, is so you fix the things that you're doing wrong. It's so you actually make a change. There is no point in journaling if you're not focusing on actually making changes in your trading. So if you are like Nicola and you can actually just forego the step of writing to get to the end goal, which is making the change, by all means do that. I think that takes a lot of willpower, and props to you, man, for actually being able to do that. Because that's actually fixing the thing that's broken. So many times we've just put so much fluff and we think, okay, I'm just going to write all of this stuff, never read it again, and think that that's the work done. The work comes the next day when we're presented with the same opportunity and we have the opportunity to actually make the same mistake or make the change. So I think the whole process for journaling and the importance of it is, are you making the changes? And then just however you are best able to do that, whether you actually need to write it down, then write it down. If you don't, just focus on making changes.
It comes down only to how bad do you want it. Literally just that. The journal is not a must have. So basically, how bad do you want it? You can write, you don't have to write. If you want it so bad, you're going to do it either way. So if it's important, yes, it can be, but it's not necessary. Bottom line. Edin, thank you for coming. There are no questions as I see, but we are going to one more.
Yeah, we will have more calls. I just want to thank Nicola for calling me. I also want to thank Luke and other Nicola, great people. Really glad to meet. And I want to thank you all for coming. I'm so sorry again for leaving early. It's something that I couldn't control, unfortunately. But yeah, we will be here again soon, inshallah. And that's it. Thank you guys again so much, and till our next hearing.
See you, man. Thanks for coming.
See you,
Bye.
dude.
See you.
Okay,
Yeah, dude.
let's continue. So, it was journal. Okay, came here. There is nothing changed. Everything is the same. The strategies are the same. The market is moving the same. The Trump fucks up the market from time to time, but it's fine. You
More
can,
opportunity.
yeah. Okay, greetings. I'm glad to be here. How does your trading reflect on your life? Have you lost sense of joy, laughter, friendship, and family? Hell no, man. When you hit that 1K trade, you're happy, man. Okay, emotions. Again, it comes back to separating the work from your private life. Trading is just work. So basically,
but that's a really good question. Sorry for interrupting, Nicola. So somebody said, how does that reflect on your life? Because I heard so many examples. Even people messaging me, they lost their partner, they lost their job. Even like last year, I was working with somebody who lost 60,000 euros on 3 accounts, and it really can affect your life in a, like, okay, there are positive sides, but also there are negative sides. When it comes to reflection on how trading can affect your life, one of the main things that you will go, like the things that you're going to find to work on is just immense. Like you would never imagine that certain traits and certain things that come up through trading, that you will have to work on them. And so through that repetition, you're actually becoming, in Balkans we say, "Podobati se koža." Sorry, look, I don't know the phrase on English, but you get a thick, how to say, fat skin. Your skin. I don't know how is the phrase, but really, really, really can affect your life if you don't know what you do, because trading is a way of gambling as well. If you don't know what to do.
Yeah. For me, it's completely like, I lost my job. I got kicked out of my house. My parents didn't want to speak to me anymore because they said, I'm not going to support this anymore. They said, like, it's our fault that we've allowed you to do this for so many years. It's never going to work. And initially trading, when I started doing it, and you had those massive days when you're just not consistent at all, it really builds up your ego. Then as time went on, and I couldn't execute on what I wanted to do, it just degraded my self-image massively, and I lost so much, damaged, wasn't speaking to many of my friends at all, and genuinely, it completely changed my whole outlook on life. Like, it genuinely made me crazy by society standards. And I think it's the whole process of just being brought to the top of the mountain and then slammed back down the next day. It's just such an emotional turmoil. It's like a roller coaster. And that just breaks us, or it basically shakes everything up. I don't know, do you guys know Humpty Dumpty? Like when he falls off the wall and he gets broken up, we then have the opportunity to pick ourselves up and put ourselves back together, but the way that we want to do that. And I have a lot of friends that they got broken from trading and they never put themselves back together to be part of the markets. They put themselves back together to take a different path, etc. So yeah, for me, it was actually like my communication with whatever you want to call, like the everything, the universe, everything. My lessons through life were coming through the markets. And that's a very dangerous place to be, because then the market wasn't a place where I would come to earn money. It was a place where I would come to learn. And I had to actually change that. And that was part of the reason why I had to take a break, was because that trading wasn't for making money for me. It was about learning about life, about figuring out myself. So yeah, I'd say it's completely changed the way I live my life, the way I view the world, my relationships. They're all much better again now, but there was a period where it really, really did mess me up.
Can you elaborate more on that relationship with your parents? What led to that disconnect from your family?
It all started in the beginning, and it was with expectations. And I thought that I was going to be able to do it so much quicker than it actually ended up being. And that led to a disconnect between the timelines, basically. So once it got past year 2 and I wasn't consistent, my parents were like, okay, this is never going to work. Then year 3 came around, halfway into year 3, and I was actually traveling South America, and I came back and moved in with them, and I had a decent job, and then I got fired from the job because they found out that I was trading. And then my parents kicked me out because then they said, okay, look, this is first of all, they just thought it was never going to work, and I had never given them anything to show that it was going to work. So I completely understand it. Even now, like when I talk about trading with them, it just goes in one ear and out the other. They don't even really process it, or I don't like to talk about it with them. Like our relationship is much better now, but we don't really talk about the markets. It's like a taboo.
Yeah, now
I think that's a really good point.
bags, man. Now it's fine, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you got back together with your parents. I mean, you guys communicated.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
By the
Thank
way,
you for sharing that.
where are you from? Scotland or Ireland?
Ireland.
Ireland, yeah. How did you get to Peru?
Come on, bro.
Yes. So I had a Chilean friend, and we were living in London, and then we went traveling Chile together. And I went over there. I had a funded account. So 2 weeks before I went, I had a funded account. This is in 2022. And literally, I remember I went to the gym with my friend, and we came back to his house. We placed the trades before we went to the gym, came back, and price was heading my way to my take profit. This was to pass phase 2. So I could actually go out to South America for the first time with the funded account. And we were just sat there, and price was maybe 15 points for my take profit. And whatever came over me, I just loaded up like, I don't know, 20, 30 lots at the very bottom. We had 3 1-minute candles in the opposite direction, and I just completely blew the account. And it was just, that was the situation that I was in. It was like this demon or something would just come out, override everything, and I would just push a button and think, what the hell just happened there? So I ended up losing that account. I had 2 weeks to go, passed another account before I went, but then went out one night in South America and basically just fucking was hungover pushing buttons, and the account was gone. So I was in South America with very limited money, no way of earning more, and Chile is so expensive. I had about a month left to my flight, and I said I can't even afford to stay here. So I ended up going to Peru, which was considerably more economic. And yeah, I met my fiance, and yeah, we've been living here for the last year now. We went around traveling where I met Nicola, but yeah, we've been back based around here for almost a year now.
So basically, you lost your money and you got stuck there.
Yes.
Make it simple. Okay, interesting. How long a break from trading is good? Depends. If you made $5 million, you can take a break for your whole life. If you're not making money, not so long. Like a week max, not more than that, in my opinion. Too much of a break is not good, if you ask me.
Like for me, my break was 8 months. Like 8 months, I genuinely didn't even really look at a chart, think about trading. And then when I came back, I've been profitable every single month. And I think it's not so much about how long the break is, it's how long do you need to come back to an emotional equilibrium, or how long do you need to reset your nervous system? Because for me, it generally was a nervous system issue. Like I was doing the stuff that I didn't want to do. My brain didn't want to do it, but my body was doing it. So I had to actually reset that. And that can be done very, very quickly. Like you could easily do that in a week, 2, 3 weeks, a month. But just putting the intention on, okay, what's actually broken here? Am I making mistakes because I don't have any money outside of trading? Then just get a job and fix that. Or if it's a nervous system issue, fix that. And a job actually helps fix your nervous system because it just completely removes that whole psychological element. So yeah, I would say just up the ante with cold showers, hit breath work consistently, and then yeah, the break can become much shorter and actually have a bigger benefit.
Me personally, I never took a break longer than 2 days. And I think I took it only once, actually. And I remember when it was. It was my first 200K account that I blew because I was fucking moron. And then I was like, okay, I need to chill. 2 days after that, I was back on the charts, got new 200K account, got my
Oh, you're an
payouts.
animal.
Yeah, and everything was fine, man. So it really depends, as Luke said, how do you feel and why are you taking break? And how bad do you want it actually? Everything comes back to how bad do you want it. There is a question how to push yourself to really want it. If you need to ask that question and you don't want it, you don't need to push yourself. You're just going to come automatically every day to the charts, fix your mistakes, find your trades, and put the work in. There is nobody that can push you, and there is no magic formula that is going to make you want to do it. I know everyone is here because of the money. That's fine. We all started because of the money, but money is just the end goal. If you love what you do, you're just going to come back every single day. 8 years now in a row, every day, no breaks, vacations, nothing. I was on the chart every morning, every afternoon, no matter what. So you just need to push yourself as much as you can.
Yeah, what do they say? Like change occurs once the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. How to go from 9 to 5 job to full-time trading? You need to have some money, man. You need to have some money saved up so you can start trading and not feeling pressured. If you don't have
Either savings or having a job.
Yeah. So if you have a job and you want to start trading, the only solution for you is to do swing trading until you make some money so you can do day trading. So 9 to 5 job, only thing that you can do is swing trading. For everybody that doesn't know, swing trading is the trade that is lasting for a couple of days, maybe even weeks, months, doesn't matter. The long trades. Not the day trading that is actually you put the trade during the day and you finish it in a couple of hours. When you save up some money, then you can start thinking about full-time trading. I'm not doing full-time trading. I mean, I'm living from it, but I have another business that I'm working. So basically, you can do trading. You just need to find the time. If you don't have the time, you need to do swing trading.
Yeah, and just quickly, I would say that having a job is massively beneficial. I think that that was one of the reasons why it took me so long, is because I never had a consistent income stream outside of the charts. It was just sporadic income, and it just completely
Yeah.
messes with your head.
I have one example to say, one story that maybe some of the people would resonate. It was 2021. One of my friends was a really good trader. He started making money. Um, he had a job at some government institution, and at that time he got a baby. He got a baby, and he felt security. He felt like he can start making money. He started earning income from trading. And what happened? He decided to quit his job. The amount of pressure at that time literally crunched him, and he, instead of going to trading full time, he quit trading. He never came back, and he had to go back to to work. I think he found another job. And here's one thing: uh, people don't think about the amount of pressure going to conversation with your partner. Okay, we have a baby. We need to feed that baby, and the life partner, female in this case, would place him on so much pressure. Going to that physiological stress or having this conversation. I don't think it's how to say, it's beneficial. It's not worth it. Like there are people that broke up or even got divorced. So those things are really important to keep in mind.
Yeah, man. Like the whole thing of trading psychology, it's thrown around so much, but I genuinely think that if you have an issue with your psychology in trading, just get a job and make your system more mechanical, because all of the stress that you're coming from is having to make decisions and worrying about money. So if you just fix those two things, trading psychology just takes care of itself. Like, we don't need to try and fix our psychology or learn about this stuff. It's just fix what's broken. And oftentimes it's just stressing about money. So just get a job, or just remove subjectivity, get clear on your actual system.
Okay. Does your time spent on the charts change your schedule that you follow? No, not really. I mean, if you're trading, you need to have that scheduled on your time. So literally, if you're day trading for living, you need to have that in your time in your timesheet. So I don't know what to say on that question, honestly.
Well, you need some schedule when it comes to either catching London or New York, because those are two important sessions. Let's say you do your analysis in the morning, you place your alerts, and then when you get the press alert, you follow price. But then you need to actually trade through limit orders, not through market execution, because it will be super, super difficult to trade with market execution. So first, need to define, okay, am I on the position that I'm able to be physically during the session, to be able to open my laptop or tablet, whatever phone is not recommended. But let's say you've done your analysis a few hours before, then I would say it's okay to watch what's happening on the charts through your mobile phone, but only if you're doing limit orders. I wouldn't recommend doing market execution.
Yeah, we are going to more detail about log journal in a minute. There is one more question actually. What's more important, skill or mindset?
I think it's the same probably, because you can't have results if you don't have both. So it's equally important.
Luke, what do you think?
I think neither. I think it's almost simplicity is the most important thing. That simplicity will fix your simplicity removes the complexity from your skill set, and it puts your mindset at peace. So if we don't try and focus on either or, and we just focus on making things as simple as possible, both our skill and mindset will be benefited from that.
I would say mindset. Honestly, you can have the skill, but if you don't have the right mindset, I think you're cooked. You can learn it from multiple sources, but if you don't have the right psychology, man, I think you're dead in markets.
I mean, that's true, but you can pray to the universe and all the gods and be positive, but market doesn't care about that. At the end of the day, reading price action and having certain amount of skill is super, super important. You can be a shaman, do, I don't know, drug, whatever, but if you don't have proper skill set that will follow the mindset, then
Yeah, but for example, the war breaks loose. The gold is going up, and we all buy gold. The mindset is there, something that is going to keep you in the trade, man. You cannot trade without skill. That's true, but you don't have to be as skillful as that you need to have a good mindset.
That's true.
Yeah, I think this skill set's much easier to learn. Like you can pick up a solid trading strategy wise within 3 months or less, and then everything else has to get taken care of.
Yeah, literally the theoretical part about trading, the strategies and everything, you learn that in like 2 months. The psychology is the part that is hard, and 3 years, 2 or 3 years is the let's say 2 years is the time that you need to master it, to win yourself.
it's a bare minimum.
Yeah. So I would say mindset and psychology is much, much more important than the skill. So basically, you can trade support and resistance. If you have a right mindset, well, everyone knows how to draw support and resistance.
Yeah,
You just buy off support and sell off resistance. That's it. If you're swinging, it's going to work. But having the wrong mindset, it's not going to work, man. That's my opinion.
I mean, that's true. I think also understanding price, certain amount of skill set. You don't need to. I think the more you know in trading, that's more dangerous for you.
Yeah.
Because the more you know, you're going to switch and tweak your strategy and jump from strategy to strategy, from video to video, and you're going to see, let's say, you're trading in some, like, let's say you follow some trading group and you see somebody drawing Fibonacci and you see they're placing profitable trades and you're like, oh my God, this guy knows something that I don't have. So let me add Fibonacci. Then you see another guy is using order flow. Oh, let me now use order flow Fibonacci. And then suddenly your system becomes so complex that you got lost on the chart. You don't even know how to do analysis. You're completely lost. So the more you know, the less you know, the better. People that never actually working with people that never had any experience with trading is the best, because it's like a blank paper. You can draw and you can just add the things you think are important.
Yeah, like some prop firms like S&B Capital, they will opt for people who have no market experience prior. Same way in sales reps don't want someone who's been trained by a different sales team, because we're just taking in so many preconceptions and just getting in the way of ourselves massively. But what I will say is I 100% agree on that. But there's also the layer of, okay, so we want to make our system as simple as possible. We want to only be looking at a few set confluences, a few set variables. But also there's the whole part of like conscious, unconscious, unconsciously unconscious. So much of my trading, I realized, I tried to explain my trading to someone recently, and I don't teach trading. And I found that so much of what I'm doing, I'm not even aware of what I'm doing. So it's actually a process now of, okay, what am I looking at when I come to the chart? I have my super simple rules, but there's so many things that when I put up the chart, I just immediately see all this stuff clicks in my head that I'm not actually consciously registering. And then that comes from just staring at the chart just for years and years and years and years. So definitely keep things as simple as possible, but also, even if you learn from somebody else, if they have a winning system, you can just take that, just copy and paste it. But also really, I would say, try and figure out, or at least study the market yourself, so that you know, as opposed to just following simple basic rules. And this is also muddy water, because then it gets into, okay, shall we just keep it simple, copy these rules, or do we want to actually then go further, potentially risk a bit of analysis paralysis to actually figure out the markets more of ourselves, so we have a better market understanding? What do you guys think?
Simplicity.
Where do you fall on that?
And simplicity wins.
Simplicity.
Yeah, simplicity wins here. The easier you look the chart, the easier your strategy is, the more money you're going to make.
So a few days ago, I was watching one guy trading live, and oh my God, that guy he had so many confirmations, looking at the DXY order flow, like literally shifting through 15 things, in order to enter the trade. I'm like, when you see that, you understand that it's so hard to make money, and you understand that for that person must be super difficult or either impossible to make money. When you see so many confirmations, so many things coming up, so I would suggest, let's say you have a trading model, predefine everything at the start and write it down. Okay, so how do I define structure? How do I look at liquidity? How do I don't know, looking for setups? Draw it on the paper, like or on the chart. Draw your setups, draw your entry criteria, draw everything, and then when you have a complete picture, then you apply it on the chart. But everything needs to be predefined before you enter the trade.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like there's a whole. Sorry, just one last thing. There's a saying in data that it's not about how many metrics you're tracking; it's which metrics are you tracking, and that comes down to the simplicity element. That guy with 15 confluences, he can't have any solid data because how is he supposed to make? How is he meant to draw conclusions from that many different inputs? Having as less things to actually think about to enter the trade is actually the best type of strategy that we can go for.
Bro, if as Nicola said, I was looking some guy trade live a couple of days ago. Man, if I was doing that, I would probably shoot my brains out. I swear to God, man, it's fucking man. For everyone that never talked to me or nobody see me work live, idiot concept is what I call my concept. Literally idiot concept. Everyone can understand it. So easy because I hate complicated things. I hate complicating things. Man, candle, zone, enter. That's it. Nothing else.
Well, that means you're an idiot. I'm kidding, bro.
Exactly. I consider myself a fucking idiot. Not because I see Borna work. Borna is a genius, man. I swear to God. He's doing ICT's concept. When I see the charts, SMTs, I don't even know how it's called, man. When I see that, I want to shoot myself. I swear to God, I want to shoot myself. It's so complicated for me. I go to my charts, I have 3 lines and trade setup. That's it.
I think it's dependent like how person are you. It's like I'm insecure and I need more confirmation to join the trade. So it's better for me personally.
Oh, you just
More
said a
confirmation.
magical thing, bro. You should come up more on this call. So when you say you're insecure, what exactly do you feel, or how do you perceive that insecurity?
Like Luke said before, like it's hard to take loss for me before. Now it's like okay, but in the beginnings it's so hard to take loss, and uh, and I have wrong mindset. I was thinking about the money only, so that's the bad. So I must have more confirmation to do the entry. Like I'm sure to this will go in my way.
Bro,
Oh, so who in your past had high expectations for you?
I think no one actually. My parents are okay with me, but they know I'm like smart. They think I'm smart
Mm,
like every parents, but not forcing me to be the best of the best. And that's, I think
interesting.
nobody.
interesting.
But I'm that person. Like I want to when I'm making a plan, I want to like have a look of every single thing. So it's like I can best result of it. That's my perspective.
That's actually fine, but overcomplicated things, it's a nightmare for me, man. Nightmare. I found pictures of my previous trades like 3 or 4 years ago. Man, I was crazy, man. I swear to God, I think I was crazy when I started trading and all this, man. Ooh, insane, insane. Okay, you had a question. Stick to one strategy and don't change it. What do you guys think about it? Absolutely 100% true.
Yeah, yeah. I think the strategy that we stick to should be boiled down to literally 2 to 3 things that we're looking for. And if we can reduce it down to super simplicity, those 3 things, then we can take trades, and every single trade we take, whether it's a loss or a win, we can then see, okay, which confluences are actually in these trades that lead to the higher win rate. So the strategy stays the same, but maybe we're entering previously off a previous session sweep. Maybe you can then optimize that just to a previous day sweep, just for an example. But the strategy stays the same. And you're just figuring out, okay, when is the actual best time to execute this strategy?
True. Okay.
Maybe you can jump to your dashboard.
Yeah, let's start with the dashboard and because more or less we answered everything. We had one more thing somebody asked about strategies. Okay, so basically strategies are just the way you see the markets. So we all trade the same thing. For example, we all see the Euro USD and it's always moving in one direction, up or down. And we all see moving up and down. Okay? How are you going to capitalize on it? How are you going to use it? That's the strategy that you're going to use. So basically, if you use patterns, if you use SMC, if you use Wyckoff, what I see, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to use, that's up to you, but everything works. Okay? You just need to make it work for you. Simple as that. Okay? Example, fair value gaps are support and resistance. Liquidities are support and resistance. Supply and demand are order blocks. Order blocks are support and resistance. Breaker block, support and resistance. Everything comes back to one and to the same thing. How are you going to use that's 100% up to you. Cool?
Well said.
Okay. Let's see the dashboard and let's wrap it up. Look, you can share it if you want.
Okay. Put the link to it there. It's called the FX.
Yeah, you sent it. FX.
I can share. Yeah.
Just share it, show us how it works, and whoever wants it can download it.
You have it. You guys have it in the chat. So there's a link in the chat.
Oh, fancy.
Okay.
Trust me, bro,
Yeah.
this is gold.
So this basically encapsulates everything that we need to stay on top of as traders, or not need to, but everything that comes from start to the finish. So analysis, execution, and review. So it's boiled down to the input section. So this is where we input the data, and then this is where we review it. So each day I come here and every day it automatically populates with a daily report card. So we can just see each day just the most important questions. What did I do well? Did my emotions impact my decisions? What will I improve for tomorrow? And if we ask ourselves that every single day, then we know that we're actually, we're figuring out what's broken. But then it comes back to Nicola, who didn't even write this down, but he, in his mind, asked himself these questions and then made sure to actually action that the next day. So that's the important part. This is just there to systemize that process so that you don't have to think about it just every single day you come and just do what you have to do. Ask yourself the important questions. And then once you take a trade, you can open it up here. So there I have two different templates, whether you take a scalp just from different views. So like a zoomed out view and a zoomed in view, and then any key takeaways. So throughout the whole dashboard, anytime you enter a lesson that you've learned, it gets sent to the dojo. And this is basically the stuff that you have to think of top of mind, the things that you have to actually fix this week, let's say, or this trading session. What is the things you have to fix? And then once you've learned it, just click that, and then it gets sent into the learn sections, and you can just forget about it. So basically, there should only be a couple of lessons here because there's only a couple of things that we have to fix. There shouldn't be 20 things in here, because then how is there 20 things broken with our training or with our trading? Figure out what's the most important thing and then fix things one by one. And then the last main element is the data. So this is crucial. This was what completely transformed my trading. It was actually having clear data and being actually able to see my true win rate, etc. So we take a trade and it appears here, and then we just punch in all the data. So our account balance, etc. Let me just delete these. These are all empty. So we just input the data, and every time we take a trade, it's our duty to make sure we just come and we add in this information, and then it automatically gets populated, and we can see our best trading session, our win rate based on strategy, based on day of the week, based on our trading instruments, which is our best hour that we entered, which is our best time frame, which candle did we enter, was it the 15-minute candle, the 30-minute candle of the hour, etc.
Yeah.
Then this section. And then this section here is for actually
You stop the share, man. I think we don't see it anymore. I mean, I don't see it, at least.
Oh, you're not seeing my screen?
Yeah, you stopped the share, I think.
Ah.
Okay, now it's back.
So you didn't see any of this?
No, we just didn't see the last part. That we saw.
Okay.
That's the last thing we saw, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so you Excel spreadsheet, just a normal spreadsheet. You input the data, and then I've hooked it up so that it actually filters your views here. So you don't need to touch these; these automatically get populated, and it shows you again, like I said, your best trading session, your best day of the week, which is your best hour, your best time frame, your best candle that you enter on, etc. What I've just added recently is for optimizing. So basically, this is for optimizing our win rate. So we can see, okay, am I better when I wait for a 5-minute confirmation or a 1-minute confirmation? Just improving our win rate. Then if we want to actually improve our risk to reward, we use this section. So when we input a trade, here we input, okay, how much more did price actually run on after we hit our take profit? So the options are, you can see price run on 0.5% more, 1% more, 1.5% more, etc. So this is just 3 trades. This doesn't tell us anything. But as we build up, we have 10, 20, 30, 50 trades here. We can start to see, okay, what percentage of my trades are actually running on, let's say, plus 3 or more. That information will then show us, okay, I can actually increase my risk to reward. That will reduce my win rate, but overall, I'll make more money. Same with the stop loss. We can see, okay, what percentage of my trades are actually coming the whole way into my stop loss. So even just based off this small data, we can see, okay, 0% of the trades we've taken are actually coming past the 70 into that last quarter of our stop loss. So even just from the small data set, this information is telling me, okay, I can actually reduce my stop loss, improve my risk to reward without taking a huge hit on my win rate. And then here then is if you were thinking about a break even, this actually has a formula to show you what's your average or taken, and it actually gives you, if this is more than 0, break even will improve your strategy, and if this is less than 0, break even will actually be a negative on your outcomes. And then these are just totals. You can just see how much you did each month, each year, etc. So yeah, it's basically, it's split into 2 sections. You have the dojo where you learn your lessons, just fixing the very thing that's broken. You have your data section, which is, this is the true reflection of your trading, and then just the playbook. So each time you take a trade, it automatically gets sent here, and then you can just view each setup by your wins and losses, just to study, just to train your eye. I love to look at this before a trading session. So when I wake up, just staring at this, at my ideal trade setups. And then when it comes to live time, I'm just looking at basically just another one of these. Like I'll have 20, 30 screenshots here, just looking at them. They all look the same. So when it comes on live time, it's just second nature. But for anyone that does download it, come here in the beginning, come to your playbook, and then come to your trading plan. This is where you want to start, because again, none of this works if we don't actually know how we're trading. So we don't know the exact step-by-step rules that we're doing, etc. So they say if you can't write your trading plan on the back of an envelope, it's too complicated. So this is just, the whole purpose of this is to get super clear, super simplify, and then just show up every single day, record the data, and yeah, just optimize as we go.
Nice. It looks really nice. It's too complicated for me, but it's really nice. Okay. Do you guys
You
have any
should
more
wrap it up.
questions?
Okay.
Going once, going twice. Okay. So let's wrap it up. This was more of just podcast kind of meeting. We are in talks to do some live sessions like we did the last time. We'll see. We need to find a week that we are all free to do it. I really want to see how Edin works. So he is a must for the next time. Thank you guys for coming. Look, thank you a lot. I'm gonna unmute everyone. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so basically everyone can now talk. Just unmute yourself if you have something to ask. If not, I'm going to take everyone and I'm gonna go sleep.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you for having me, for being here, for showing up. Really, really enjoyed it. And yeah, wish everyone the best of luck on their. It's Friday now. Have the weekend, and yeah, come back strong next week.
Actually, I made 3.2 kilometers on this call. Not
No
bad.
way.
Nice, nice.
People are
He said
joking.
men got
Okay, thank you guys and see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Wish you luck.
Amazing. Nice one, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
See you,
Thank
bye.
you so much. Bye.
Bye, 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 bye.